Buccaneers are in town. Game 3 of the NFL Preseason. Both teams with a record of 1-1. Tampa Bay hosting Pittsburgh. Hi, everyone. I'm Tom Mees along with Chris Collinsworth. And, Chris, on paper, this looks like a very defensive-minded game. And for Tampa Bay, they get back a key man tonight in Hardy Nickerson.
Yeah, Rusty Tillman's defenses look so sharp in the first 2 ball games of the season, and now they get their best player back in Hardy Nickerson. So a lot of excitement. People think that this could be the best defensive football team they've had in Tampa in some time.
Now, last week in Cincinnati, Trent Dilfer, he looked marvelous, but he's going to be facing a bit of a step up in the Steeler defense tonight.
Yeah, standing tall in the pocket against the Cincinnati Bengals and standing tall in the pocket against the team with the most sacks in all of football a year ago in the Pittsburgh Steelers. 2 different stories. This coaching staff is excited about the possibility, though, of watching Trent Dilfer working against the kind of pressure he's going to see tonight. This is the next test for Trent Dilfer.
Last Sunday, the Steelers were run out of the blast furnace by Green Bay. Head coach Bill Cowher was not a happy camper. He hopes his team responds tonight.
Yeah, he really gave him a good tongue lashing after that whipping by the Green Bay Packers. As a matter of fact, he gave me a good tongue lashing just before the ball game tonight. During a preseason game on NBC, I said that the Steelers choked away their trip to the Super Bowl last year, and so what the players heard, I also heard on the field just before the game.
And we'll edit those remarks as the evening goes along, I'm sure. Now, Neil O'Donnell is the starting quarterback, and he's like Rodney Dangerfield. He gets no respect in Pittsburgh.
And don't forget, Neil O'Donnell is the guy that actually signed an offer sheet with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. The Pittsburgh Steelers matched that, and the reason that he's respected around the National Football League is his ability to hang on to the football. Only 17 turnovers as a team last year for this Pittsburgh Steelers offense. Best in the National Football League. A big reason, Neil O'Donnell.
But as far as the home side is concerned, how much improved are the Tampa Bay Bucks? Well, the Jets are nice. The Bengals are okay. Friends, the Steelers tonight, the Dolphins next week. That's going to tell the tale.
Yeah, one week you face the best defense in all of football. Probably the next week, the Miami Dolphins, the best offense. How good are the Tampa Bay Buccaneers? We're just about to find out.
The opening kickoff just moments away. Bucs preseason football on Channel 44. We'll kick it off from Tampa Stadium in just a moment.
Introducing Chili's Frequent Diner Card. Every time you order a meal at Chili's, you earn points toward great free stuff, like free meals, free hotel accommodations, even free airline tickets. Best of all, the card's free. You even get a free dessert your next time through. So sign up for your Chili's Frequent Diner Card today.
I've always wanted to do this. With NFL Sunday Ticket on DirecTV, you get up to 13 regular season games live every Sunday. So if Washington is blowing out the Bucs, just switch to the 49ers Saints game. But hey, is Emmitt Smith breaking the rushing record? Are the Giants crushing the Eagles? You get it. Not on cable, but with DirecTV and this. Now that's a game plan. To get NFL Sunday Ticket on the 18-inch DSS dish of your choice, call 1-800-DirecTV.
Get it in gear with a new GMC Sonoma 5-speed with 118 horses under the hood. Whoa, boy! So you can haul all kinds of stuff. With all this room, you can almost live in it. No more rents. And don't forget safety. In fact, Sonoma's so much fun, let's do that again. The GMC Sonoma 5-speed. A fun way to save some serious dough. Get it in gear at your Suncoast GMC truck dealer now.
And welcome back to Tampa Stadium. A crowd of around 50,000 anticipated for preseason game number 3. Sam White to the Buccaneers coming home after that great performance last week in Cincinnati. Sam's got to be happy with his team so far, I would think, by and large. On the other side of the field, Chris, Bill Cowher saw his Steelers cough up the ball 5 times Sunday against Green Bay.
And what a matchup this is tonight, especially with the guys up front. I believe the Steelers probably have the best linebacking core in all the National Football League. And this offensive line and Trent Dilfer, they're going to see pressure like they have never seen before. Should be quite a show tonight.
Well, the Steelers won the toss, have elected to receive. Michael Husted set to tee it up for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Ernie Mills is deep, standing at the Steeler goal line, number 89. And as a knuckleball bounces at the 13, Mills fields it at the 5. And Mills is down up around the 25-yard line. I believe it was Buckley Number 28, first to hit him, Curtis Buckley on the special team. That'll bring up a first down and 10. They actually give him forward progress over the 25 to the 26-yard line.
Neil O'Donnell, I thought, had a good, solid year last year for the Pittsburgh Steelers. Ron Earhart, their offensive coordinator, asked one thing out of the quarterback. You don't have to win the game. Just make sure you don't lose it.
O'Donnell with two setbacks in the I formation behind him. Bam Morris is one of them, number 33. And Morris takes the first handoff of the game, tripped up after about a 3-yard gain. And guess who? Hardy Nickerson is in on that tackle.
Didn't take Hardy very long to get in the middle of the action. Of course, going up against Bam Morris there, who has some big shoes to fill after Barry Foster left.
Offense for the Steelers. Morris, John L. Williams, the former Florida Gator and Seattle Seahawk, Jonathan Hayes and company. The line, Jackson, Callis, Dermontti Dawson, Justin Strelzik, and Leon Searcy. The offensive line in front of that man, Neil O'Donnell, the veteran out of Maryland. Second down and 6. John L. Williams in motion. Williams, the receiver, has got a first down. Bouncing off the tackle of Kenneth Gant. First and 10 for Pittsburgh. And the Buccaneer defense, Chidi Ahanatu, Mark Wheeler, Warren Sapp, and Eric Curry up front. Linebackers, Lonnie Martz, Hardy Nickerson back in business, Derek Brooks. And the secondary, Mayhew, Dimry, Bussey, and Thomas Everett. And Nickerson, we're told, Chris, could play about a quarter, maybe a bit more tonight.
They want to make sure he's around for opening day.
10-yard gain up to the 39-yard line on the pass to John L. Williams. Bam Morris got some room, and it closes down on him. Mark Wheeler got him up high. Thomas Everett got him low.
Well, this is vintage Pittsburgh Steeler offensive football. They want to try and run the ball, establish the power game. Looked like Lonnie Martz may have come down inside on an inside stunt. The tackle tight end just kicking him on inside, and Bam Morris had a little room to operate on the outside.
Bam Morris, the second-year man out of Texas Tech. Barry Bananas Foster is not in Pittsburgh anymore. He's toiling for Carolina. Morris again. Morris is tripped up in the backfield, and making the stop for Tampa Bay, Lonnie Martz. Got an arm around him.
And they're really excited about what Lonnie Martz is doing defensively for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Get a look at Warren Sapp working down inside. He didn't play a week ago with the flu. But Lonnie Martz using that quickness to get through and make the stop.
He's so quick, he was out of range of the camera right there in that play. 5. Andre Hastings and Johnny Barnes split wide to the bottom of the screen for Pittsburgh. And a passing down on O'Donnell from the shotgun. Over the middle all the way and off the hands of the intended receiver Hastings, and a late, and I mean late flag. And O'Donnell thinks he's got an interference call. Let's listen.
Like Mike Magruder just a little early.
Interference, number 21 of the defense, first down.
That's it.
So tough now for defensive backs in the National Football League. Playing his own defense, Hardy Nickerson in the zone drop, reacting to the football. And I think the interference may have been a little bit more of a hold just before the ball got there, because obviously Mike Magruder did nothing to impede the flight of the ball or break the arms down.
Magruder, a 6-year veteran out of Kent, came to the Bucs last year as an unrestricted free agent from San Francisco. So the Steelers, who have to be an angry football team after what happened to them last Sunday, albeit with some help from the flag, are moving the football. First and 10 of the Buccaneer 46. Greg Peak in motion. Bam Morris is in the featured back of this drive. Bam Morris bams into John Lynch, and that knocks him back after about a 5-yard gain. And another flag.
John Lynch getting the start tonight. Good battle going on in the secondary between John Lynch and Barney Bussey for that starting strong safety position. And John coming up with a pretty good pop.
And a face mask. This also goes against Tampa Bay.
Tackle, 5 yards, face mask. That will make the line to gain. First down.
Can't make it too easy for the Steelers offense because they like to play that power football. See if we can pick up the face mask. Right at the end, you saw John Lynch, number 47, just get his hand up in there. Obviously, not intentional. That's the reason for the 5-yard penalty instead of 15.
Shutdown day looms defensively, Chris. Are the Buccaneers pretty well set?
They still have a few tough decisions to make. We'll talk about that as the night goes along.
In motion goes Keith for Pittsburgh. O'Donnell out there with a lot of room to roam, throws the ball instead, and it is batted away. Batted away by Thomas Everett, who just got a hand on it. O'Donnell looked like he had a mile to run there.
That's one of those plays, perhaps during the regular season, you go ahead and, as a quarterback, you take off and run. Because really, Thomas Everett was in pretty good position there against Jonathan Hayes. Good to have Thomas Everett back in that lineup again. You just have to have an enforcer in the middle of the field anymore in the National Football League. You see so many of the good teams now that have the great safeties, and Thomas Everett is a guy that can step up and is certainly capable of Pro Bowler in '93.
Morris again to lone setback. Straight back to throw O'Donnell. Looking long toward the left sideline and batted down. Getting a hand on it was Charles Dimry, and it fell incomplete.
There's the best cover man for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers right there, Charles Dimry. And this pass looked like it was going to be completed. And at the very last minute, Dimry comes up and just gets a finger on it to deflect it away. Great play by Charles Dimry.
Brings up a 3rd down and 10. Dimry, the former Denver Bronco, rising to the occasion there. Hastings and Barnes go to the top of the screen. 4 wide receivers now. Mills is also out with Yancey Thigpen to the left on 3rd and 10. Lot to choose from, but everything is covered, and O'Donnell just throws it away. In the area was Hastings, but it'll bring up 4th and 10.
Great coverage that time by Mike Magruder. Absolutely nowhere for Neil O'Donnell to go. Had to throw the football away, and that is a strong opening series for Rusty Tillman's defense. But for a couple of penalties during that opening drive, they may have shut them down 2 or 3 times.
Well, now the place-kicking chores, of course, Gary Anderson is gone from Pittsburgh, and this man, the longtime Colt, Dean Biasucci, he and Ron Stark both came over, so the kicking game in Pittsburgh entirely different.
A little package deal.
53-yard attempt by Biasucci. Not known for a long leg, and this is wide anyway. It had the distance, but it was well wide from the get-go, and the Buccaneers have held. 11:27 left to go in the first quarter. Trent Dilfer and the Bucs will take over on Channel 44 in a moment.
Hold on! They went where no man had gone before and saw what no man had ever seen.
Captain, is something out there?
This time, they've gone even further.
Get down!
Prepare to relive the incredible 2-hour premiere that launched a new legend and a dramatically different network.
No!
Star Trek Voyager.
Monday night at 8, here on Channel 44.
The biggest 95 final clearance. That's Tampa Bay area savings, but only at your new Super 6 Toyota dealers. Yes, 6 Super 6 Toyota dealers working to give you record-breaking savings. Huge 95 Toyota final clearance, 4 days only, today through Sunday. Thousands of Toyotas for thousands less. Save $1,500 cash back on new Toyotas. No cash down on Toyota trucks. Toyota financing now as low as 2.9%. Hurry to your Super 6 Toyota dealer today. Sutherland, Performance, Sun, Precision, Courtesy, Stadium. Final 95 Toyota clearance now.
Because your business can send you practically anywhere at a moment's notice, we offer nearly 5,000 flights a day.
Well, the Swashbucklers and about 50,000 of their closest friends are excited after that first defensive stand on the Buccaneer D. And now the Steelers defense of the former Buck, Ray Seals, getting set to turn it up.
And these guys can play. You look across there, they have the nasty 90s. Everybody wearing a 90 number. And Trent Dilfer is getting ready to get a little indoctrination into the steel curtain and what that means.
Here they come, Trent. 1st and 10 for the Bucs, remember, on the 42-yard line after the missed field goal by Visucci. Dilfer wants a big piece of it. Charles Wilson is covered pretty well at the 25-yard line. Covered well by an All-Pro. Ron Woodson was the man with the plan. Let's take a look at the Buccaneers offense. Eric Rett, the setback. Dave Moore getting a start at fullback. Jackie Harris had a big week last week. Courtney Hawkins and Charles Wilson, the opening wideouts up front. Gruber, McCray, Mayberry, Beckles, and Dill. No need to mess with that recipe in front of Dilfer. 2nd down and 10. Eric Rett tackled in the backfield. Met there by 95. Greg Lloyd for a loss in the Steeler defense. You talked about the nasty 90s. There they are. Buckner 96, Steed 93, Seals 97. And behind them there's Moore, Gilden 92, Kirkland 99, Brown 94, Lloyd 95. You sense the pattern? Well, they can't wear 90s in the secondary. Woodson, Williams, Lake, and Perry.
And here they come.
3rd down and 10. Dilfer flushed out to his right. Got to get rid of it. Wide open is Wilson, and Dilfer just overthrew him. Oh, my goodness. He got behind Willie Williams, and if that ball had been on the money, it'd be 6-0 Tampa Bay.
Boy, oh boy. Trent Dilfer had a great opportunity there. He showed good poise in the pocket, got outside of the 7-man blitz, absolutely had Charles Wilson wide open, and did what he did in those Miami scrimmages. They missed a lot of these plays against Miami in those scrimmages, simply overthrowing the football.
And we're going to have a roughing the kicker call against Pittsburgh. Picking up the punt for the record is Andre Hastings, but forget about all this. Reggie Roby was hit, and I don't think he was acting, Chris. He was really nailed after he got rid of that.
Well, the Steelers believe in pressure everywhere. Going after the quarterback, going after the punter, they don't care. They're coming after you, but this time it works in Tampa's favor.
Well, Reggie Roby, who was a bit slow getting
Personal foul, roughing the kicker on the defense, 15 yards, 1st down.
Roby's okay. You know, if something happens to Reggie, you know who the backup punter is tonight.
Yeah, and that's right.
Warren Sapp.
I would like to see Big Warren taking a shot. Maybe they ought to put Warren in there if they're going to knock him around like that. They may show a little more respect for Warren Sapp than they did Reggie Roby.
15 yards, automatic 1st down. Dilfer and company get another chance at the Pittsburgh 43.
Well, the deep ball, a bit of a concern for Trent Dilfer. He's underthrown several. He's overthrown several. He needs to find his timing on those deep balls.
By the way, Alvin Harper is in uniform, did warm up, will not play in this game. He's getting close, though, very close. Eric Rett, up the middle, Eric Rett. Down to the 34, close to a 1st down. Darren Perry brought him down.
And there's nothing that offensive coaches like more than to see your offensive line come off the football, give it to your best back, and watch them reestablish the line of scrimmage about 4 or 5 yards down the field. Just big movement up front. Tony Mayberry and Ian Beckles, Scott Dill over there on that right side.
2nd down and 1. Something to play with now for Dilfer. Eric Rett, 1st down Tampa Bay. Not much more, but a yard and a half gives it to him. Darren Perry also in there with Joel Steed to bring him down.
Well, Eric Rett really made an impression on the National Football League last year. He only got 8 starts, and despite the limited starting roles, rushed for over 1,000 yards. The NFC Offensive Rookie of the Year. I think he is just going to be the next star coming out of that Tampa Bay backfield.
And he's happy to have his shoulder pads back. They were stolen earlier in the week. Returned. He says, I missed them. I've had them since 10th grade. Whatever works, Eric. That time, Rett met up with big number 94, Chad Brown, and goes down for maybe no gain.
You know, and Chad Brown doesn't get a whole lot of attention for the Pittsburgh Steelers. But here working against Eric Rett, he has just such tremendous speed. 8.5 sacks a year ago. Kevin Green with 14 sacks, Braid Lloyd with 10. You have 8.5 sacks, and you don't even get any attention on the Steelers defense.
By the way, Green is out of action. Broke a bone in his hand against the Packers when a teammate, I believe it was Lloyd, stepped on him in a pile. So he is out for a couple of weeks, and hope to get him back for the season opener. Second down and 10. And this one is intercepted. Mr. Rod Woodson on the pick. And look out for him in the open field. Got to hem him in. And the Bucs do a nice job of that, but it's 1st and 10 Pittsburgh at the 32. That one appeared to be a miscommunication.
The wide receiver went deep, Trent Dilfer went short, and Rod Woodson, they're lucky to keep him in the yard.
12-yard return for Woodson, so a turnover and a scoreless game. We'll be back to Tampa Stadium with more on 44 in a moment.
Tending your land, getting your hands back in the soil, working with the sun on your back. Could anything be more rewarding? Yeah, paying someone else to do it for you. Like Ned, Joe, and Tom. That's what Visa Gold's for, with enough purchase power to turn your yard green. And what could be more relaxing than mowing it yourself? Paying Al. Visa Gold, it's everywhere you want to be.
Domino's Pizza announces Mega Month. 4 amazing weeks when any pizza, any size, with any number of toppings is just $7.99. Mega Month. Just call or stop by any Domino's Pizza now for this mega money-saving deal. Remember, any pizza, any size, any number of toppings, just $7.99. Mega Month. It's only at Domino's Pizza, and it's only a phone call away. Mega Month. It's a mega deal.
Hey, huge sale. It's your local Southern Ford dealer's model year-end clearance sale, making room for 96s with great deals on 95s. Like this lease on F-150, only $199 a month. It's America's best-selling truck. Or get $1,000 cash back on any Aerostar. Shh, hey, it's past my bedtime.
Heard about the sale at your local Southern Ford dealer?
Hey!
You will.
Well, a scoreless game and the first turnover of the night for the Buccaneers.
Trent Dilfer trying to work an option route against Levon Kirkland right there. Jackie Harris with a pressure against Kirkland breaking out. The ball just simply overthrown that time by Trent Dilfer.
1st and 10 Pittsburgh on their own 31-yard line. O'Donnell back to throw, has a man up at the 40-yard line. And that man is Jonathan Hayes, the tight end. John Lynch on the tackle.
And the thing that you have to concern yourself with this Pittsburgh offense are the underneath routes. This is not a team with tremendous wide receivers. So you have to be able to take away their tight end, take away John L. Williams coming out of the backfield, force them to run the football on first down. You can't put yourself in these 2nd and 1 situations.
Mills and Thigpen go wide to the left. And now Mills back the other way in motion. On 2nd and 1. And the give once again is to Van Morris. He's got the first down and a little bit more. Lonnie Marks, one of the first to hit him.
And this is a good test for the Tampa Bay defensive line. Get a good look there at Van Morris. But this is a good Steeler offensive line. They've got the guys up front. Demonte Dawson, 3 straight Pro Bowls. John Jackson over at the left tackle position. So this is a good, solid group blocking for Van Morris.
Oh, wait, Bam, you say, what's his real name? Byron Van Morris. Second year out of Texas Tech. Play action, O'Donnell loaded up, wide open on the right side, and just not hitting him. I believe that's Ernie Mills. Nobody was near him, and O'Donnell overthrew him.
That's one of those rare 2-deep coverages, something you don't see a lot out of Tampa. That time, John Lynch was responsible for his half of the field and really just didn't get there. Seemed to get a very slow break on the football, and the Steelers had a real opportunity. Neil O'Donnell just missed that one.
2nd down and 10 for the Steelers at their own 44. A lot of rain before this game, a couple hours beforehand, but the field is just fantastic and no problem expected with footing tonight. On motion, John L. Williams. Williams for about 5 yards. Hardy Nickerson brought him down. Hardy's 2nd tackle of the night.
You think Hardy Nickerson was missing the game of football? Watch him throw his body around. He was trying to decapitate John L. Williams that time. It just barely missed, sort of ticked him and got him to the ground.
Nickerson wearing a special set of shoulder pads. His shoulder isn't 100%, but it's well enough to play. Flew off to Stroudsburg, Pennsylvania to get these shoulder pads made. They, too, were stolen, by the way, this week, and then returned.
Someone did him a favor, a little concerned that they stole his. That may have been what happened.
That's right. They got Nickerson, so better get him back. O'Donnell out of the shotgun. Playing some nice defense over there for Tampa Bay is Martin Mayhew. He was positioned perfectly to bat it down.
Martin Mayhew, an 8-year veteran, just a solid guy. Just one of those guys that you like having in your secondary. Not spectacular. A couple of interceptions a year ago that happened to lead the team. But for Martin Mayhew, he certainly is a guy that you can let play out there for all 16 games and feel very comfortable at that position.
Veteran Ron Stark gets it away for Pittsburgh. Clearance for Dan at the 10, but near the sideline. Can he get away? He's got some room on the left side. And uses his speed to get out of bounds at the 20. Closing fast there was Thomas Newberry and Rico Mack. And for Dan, is no dummy.
I think Sam White almost swallowed his gum as he took it back inside the end zone on that return.
Can't have that. 10-yard return after the punt from Stark. We'll take a timeout with 5:45 left in the first quarter. Still no score.
Hey, what's the deal? During the Mazda Summer Savings Event, we're clearing out all 1995 model trucks. So you'll get big savings on the B2300 SE Cab Plus. Get cash back from Mazda, plus air conditioning at no extra charge. Then add an option package, saving over $600. Your total savings now add up to $1,755. Clearance deals on 95 trucks won't last long. Go see your Mazda dealer now.
At Boston Chicken, we started with honest-to-goodness meals. Chicken that's slow-roasted, juicy, and delicious, as well as freshly prepared side dishes, like our mashed potatoes made from scratch. But now, we're so much more. Introducing the new Boston Market, a place where you can go for great home-style meals, like rotisserie roasted turkey breast, double-glazed ham, and double-sauced meatloaf. Now we're more than just great chicken. We're the new Boston Market.
If you've waited for prices on 95 Cadillacs to drop as low as they'll ever go, congratulations. Lease a 95 Sedan DeVille for just $399 a month during Ed Moore's Cadillac of Tampa's inventory clearance sale. Lease a 95 Seville SLS for just $499 a month with only $499 down. Ask about our exclusive 100-day warranty on select pre-owned vehicles. Ed Moore's Cadillac, conveniently located at Florida and Fletcher in Tampa. There's nothing like the Ed Morse value.
Welcome back to Tampa Stadium. Sam White checking over the offensive play calling sheet there on the sideline with Chris Collinsworth. I'm Tom Mees. The Bucs take over 1st and 10 on the 20 after that 10-yard return by Dan.
The one thing they worked on in practice all week was the blitz period because they knew they were going to be seeing it here today. They really want to see how Dilfer responds to this blitzing defense.
Moore and Rett both in the backfield on 1st down behind Dilfer. Lost his footing for a moment. Now under pressure, gets it away and throws it underneath. The intended receiver, I believe, was Tyree Davis on the left sideline. Never got there.
You can develop a bit of happy feet in the pocket playing the Steelers. If you enjoy watching football, watch the left side of your screen. Paul Gruber going up against Greg Lloyd. Two great football players in this league. And if you're Trent Dilfer, you just have to have confidence that Gruber's going to make that block for you.
2nd down and 10. That confidence is well placed from Paul Gruber. Dilfer won't get away this time. Caught from behind. And the former Buccaneer, Ray Seals, got him by the ankle.
And you know Ray Seals enjoyed that moment after his years with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Spent 5 years here in a Tampa uniform. And really, there just simply wasn't anyone open. That's more of a coverage sack than anything else. Looked like Trent was a little hesitant to throw it in there to that tight end after his interception.
A loss of only 1 on the sack. Line of scrimmage at the 19. Seals was working against rookie Stephen Ingram on that last play. And that time beat the rookie. Dilfer taking a lot of time, doesn't like what he sees, and does the intelligent thing, calls a timeout with 5:03 left to go in the quarter.
Yeah, Ian Beckles knew where Greg Lloyd was. You see him? He kept pointing over there. There's number 95 right there. There's that big ugly guy right there. And by the time Trent figured out where he was, it was time to call a timeout.
Dilfer, Weich and company take a timeout. So will we on WTOG. Our coverage of the Bucs preseason continues in a moment.
The heat is on.
The heat is on now at your local Mercury dealer during the Mercury Clearance Countdown. With hot deals on some of the year's best cars, like the hot new Mercury Mystique. A Car and Driver 10 Best starting at just $15,850. That's over $1,500 less than Altima and Accord. Plus, Mystique has features you can't get on the competition and a hot lease rate. So come in now while the deals are hot during the Mercury Clearance Countdown at your local Mercury dealer.
The heat is on.
Mr. Sampras, you know why you're here, don't you?
Kind of dumb.
We'll fix that. Let's see. Go up to the umpire. You say, you were wrong.
You were wrong.
Squat a few balls, throw a few rackets. The ball was in.
The ball was in.
I'm incompetent. Yell at me. Say tomato. Or two. And eat your pizza the wrong way. Crust first.
Why didn't you say so?
Stuffed crust pizza from Pizza Hut with a zesty new sauce and cheese baked into a new thinner crust. You'll want to eat crust first.
Two at once. I've created a monster.
Large, just $9.99.
Paradigm, Shawshank Redemption, Morgan Freeman, Tim Robbins. Good chemistry. Friendship, road movie. Only here's the catch. They ain't going nowhere.
Yeah, it's a weekly series. Typical LA family, elective surgery, identity crisis, housekeeper from hell.
Deep.
It's deep, but it's deep in a surface level. It's like a surface deep. It just goes right
Okay,
across.
this is an original Kurt Vonnegut property. Years 2053, mind control, society of intellectually mediocre people. Love it. I knew you would.
Talk about hits. Showtime. Talk about exciting.
I'm a producer.
Trent Dilfer, the Tampa Bay Bucs, trying to solve the Pittsburgh Steelers defense. You can spend a long afternoon or night trying to do that.
And the really tough thing about deciphering this defense is they give you one look in a pre-snap read, and then they move somewhere else. And during the nickel and dime defense, Greg Lloyd is going to be all over the place, so you have to account for him.
Saw that graphic. Maybe we'll comment on that in a moment after the third down play. It's time and circumstances warrant. Dilfer steps up into the pocket, goes long for the sideline, and has his man for a first down at the 40-yard line. I think that's Ty.J. Armstrong. Check that. Check that. Number 85, Courtney Hawkins, hauled it in. 21 yards, first down.
Courtney Hawkins has been having a tremendous camp, but that was sensational on the part of the offensive line. Look at the protection. Now look at the bullet. That is a shot out of Trent Dilfer.
Al Boyd Mays, the former Redskin, in the area, but not close enough. First and 10 on the 39.
Oh, that's a big-time throw right there. That's a Dan Marino throw.
Courtney Hawkins, man out of Michigan State. And here's a give to Vince Workman. Workman not quite 100% physically. Gets in for some work, if you will. And a 3-yard gain taken down by Chad Brown.
Vince Workman didn't get a chance to play last week, and last season just 11 catches. That after 3 straight years of 40-plus. So not the kind of year that you're used to seeing out of Vince Workman.
Workman has the seat on the bench as Rex comes back in at second down and 6. Fake to Rhett. A nice play fake, and the receiver is open and can't catch the pass at the 40-yard line. It's Horace Copeland, who usually goes up and gets those. Couldn't do it that time with Rod Woodson there.
A lot of times when you're playing against someone as talented as Rod Woodson, even when you beat him, you're not so sure that you have. Beautiful play fake by Trent Dilfer, and you just got the feeling that Horace Copeland thought that old Rod Woodson was a little closer than he actually was. Sometimes reputation alone is enough to win the day.
Pass balls to the turf, bringing up a third down at 6. That was definitely a catchable area. Dilfer again. He's not gun-shy against the Steelers secondary. Here's the pass reception for another first down. Courtney Hawkins hauls in number 2, and it's in Steeler territory at the 36. Willie Williams in the area.
I want you to watch the gun on number 12. He is throwing big-time passes right now, and the thing that they were concerned with Trent Dilfer was that he was reading too much. They want him to drop back, boom, throw the football, get it out of there, show off his arm a little bit, and that's exactly what we've seen out of him so far here tonight.
You know, that was pretty good coverage by Williams.
He was right there, and that was a shot.
Another first down, and a give to Eric Rett, who goes absolutely nowhere as the Steelers shut it down. Joel Steed among the Army to meet Rett at the line of scrimmage.
This is a good, solid bunch up front for the Steelers. Their linebackers are the guys that get all the attention. But Brinson Buckner and Joel Steed, Ray Seals, good players.
There you see Dilfer, of course, only 2 career regular season starts, all sorts of records at Fresno State.
And in the 2 games that he did start last year, 61-22, the combined score. So they weren't really close when he started.
Eric Rett hit again at the line of scrimmage. That time, credit goes to Levon Kirkland, the 4th-year man out of Clemson.
Now, Levon Kirkland likes to consider himself the normal guy among these linebackers. Greg Lloyd, the maniac who wears a T-shirt that says, I wasn't hired for my disposition, and Chad Brown, who raises snakes and pythons and boa constrictors, and Levon says, I'm the normal guy around here.
Doesn't sound like it's too hard to be normal around there. Dilfer directing traffic, he better hurry. Just gets it away. Looking right all the way. Floats it in there. That could have been intercepted. I'll tell you, that play was had disaster written on it from the beginning. Willie Williams almost picked it off. Dilfer's a little hot.
Yeah, and these are back-to-back ball games in which I've seen on a 3rd down situation where they had a chance to pick up 4 or 5 yards, maybe work it underneath on the part of Trent Dilfer to help your field goal kicker, throws it down the field, makes things awfully tough on Michael Husted.
Husted, if he makes this, will be a new career-long conversion for him. 53 is his best ever. They're sending it down at the 44. It would be a 54-yarder. And a 40-second timeout has been called by the Pittsburgh Steelers. We saw a moment ago a $12,000 fine against one of the Steelers defenders. Is that Greg Lloyd?
Greg, it was absolutely unbelievable. I mean, just Brett Favre last week took a shot, and Greg Lloyd came from the backside, did not hit him with the crown of his head, didn't forearm him, didn't club him, didn't attack his knees, just forearmed him in the back. Brett Favre went flying about 2 or 3 yards away. And for some reason, they fined him $12,000. I was talking with the coaching staff in the locker room, the Buccaneer coaching staff in the locker room before the game. And to a man, they were in there and just could not believe it.
Well, be with us Friday night at 8 o'clock. That's 8 Eastern, 7:30 for the pregame show, the Bucs and the Dolphins. The only place you can watch it is on Channel 44 Live. The Bucs and the Dolphins, the final dress rehearsal next Friday night from the Citrus Bowl in Orlando. Now here is Husted. Well, now they marked it a yard closer. It'll be a 53-yard attempt. Funny how that happened. Will it be long enough? It's long enough, and it is good. Husted ties his career best. 53 yards. It didn't make it by much, but it made it.
Well, what do you know? People having fun in Tampa Stadium. Check it out. They're up 3-0 on the favorite team from the AFC, and Michael Husted only 4 of 10 in his career from over 50 yards, and this one looked easy.
It was dead on. The only question is, did it have enough? And in this sultry air, you know, this is heavy air. He's not kicking at Mile High Stadium here. That's pretty fair country kick.
And the Buccaneers continue. They're moving the ball offensively and defensively. They're continuing their run from the first 2 preseason games.
Scoring drive, 10 plays, 45 yards, took 4 minutes, 14 seconds, a buck and a half left to go in the first period, and Tampa Bay leads at 3-10. There's Mills back at the 1-yard line. You know, Husted pumped up after that field goal. Mills after 2. Mills got an alley. Flag on the play. And a nice run back by Mills. Let's see if it's for naught. He's down at the 34-yard line. There to greet him was Mike Magruder.
I think Curtis Buckley may have been the one held. You see him coming out of the pile saying, oh, yeah, that one's going back. I'd have had him on the 10.
Holding it is. Ed Robinson, reserve linebacker. On the hold, Jerry Austin making the call. So that'll send it back to the 22-yard line. Now, Neil O'Donnell not having a good night, Chris. 2 out of 7 so far in the passing department.
And they've been letting him throw on first down, which is not really typical of this Steeler offense.
Starting this drive with the 22. Van Morris met for a loss. Lonnie March wrapped him up. Buccaneer linebackers active tonight.
Boy, you can just see the difference in Lonnie March playing in this 4-3 as opposed to that 4-2-5 of a year ago. Watch him use his quickness to get around John L. Williams and still have the speed to get back in position to make the play on Bam Morris. That's just tremendous linebacker play.
And you know what's encouraging? If March didn't make the play, Eric Curry was right there. If Curry didn't make it, another teammate was right there. Gang tackling. O'Donnell under pressure. Unloads over the middle. Incomplete is the call. Steelers tried to argue that they made the catch. Yancey Thigpen, the receiver. Spindler was putting pressure on Neil O'Donnell. Mark Spindler.
And Mark Spindler in the hospital a couple of weeks ago had a problem with his kidney, took a shot, and now is coming back trying to make an impression. He was right there. And I suppose that's what the NFL hierarchy wants. They want defensive linemen going for quarterback knees. There's no place else to hit those guys. Otherwise, you get the $12,000.
Unsolicited comment to Mr. Collinsworth. You know what? Makes sense. And this play is all bollocked up from the beginning. I think it was illegal procedure in the Steelers. Leon Searcy, the big right tackle out of Miami.
I think that game in Cincinnati last week turned on the fans just a bit. We're seeing a much more emotional crowd in Tampa Stadium than we've seen, at least in the preseason over the last couple of years.
Here's the pressure. Whoop. Oh, that play was called off. Buccaneers were all set to put a rush on. Ball is back at the 14-yard line now. Third down and 18 for O'Donnell. Back to his goal line. The screen broken up for a loss back at the 11-yard line. Charles Dimry put a hole in that screen.
Charles Dimry read that one all the way. He saw the screen pass coming, planted, came back directly towards it, and went underneath the blocking offensive lineman. Brilliant play on the outside by Dimry.
On a way to end the first quarter here at Tampa Stadium. They're loving it. After 1, Tampa Bay 3, Steelers nothing. Back on 44 in a moment.
The biggest 95 final clearance. Best Tampa Bay area savings, but only at your new Super 6 Toyota dealers. Yes, 6 Super 6 Toyota dealers working to give you record-breaking savings. Huge 95 Toyota final clearance, 4 days only, today through Sunday. Thousands of Toyotas for thousands less. Save $1,500 cash back on new Toyotas. No cash down on Toyota trucks. Toyota financing now as low as 2.9%. Hurry to your Super 6 Toyota dealer today. Sutherland, Performance, Sun, Precision, Courtesy, Stadium. Final 95 Toyota clearance now.
What'd you get?
Western Whopper.
Looks good.
Yeah, it's got bacon and cheddar and a tangy barbecue sauce.
How tangy is it? Is it really tangy?
Not super tangy. It's good.
And tangy?
Not too tangy.
No.
The flame-broiled Whopper, now with cheddar cheese, hickory smoked bacon, and barbecue sauce. The Western Whopper, for a limited time at Burger King.
On a scale of 1 to 10.
Yeah?
How tangy? What'd they say?
Right now, everybody's talking closeout. We're talking $1,500 cash direct to you on America's most reliable car, Buick Century. Kiplinger's named Century first for safety. We're making this incredibly popular, fully equipped Buick available now with $1,500 cash direct to you. Up to $1,500 cash whether you buy or lease at your Florida Buick dealer. What are you waiting for?
Wouldn't you really rather have a Buick?
Keep your eye on Dermontti Dawson right in the middle of your screen, the all-pro center, one of the best in the league at pulling out and lead blocking on screens. and Charles Demery is going to dip right underneath him to make the play.
Well, the Taco Bell first quarter summary, a 53-yard field goal by Michael Houston, matching his career long, the lone scoring, but I think gold stars to the Tampa Bay defensive unit as a whole. Here's the punt by Ron Stark. After that loss ending the first quarter, Verdun at his own 42. The speedy Verdun over midfield into Pittsburgh territory. Brought down there by Rico Mack, but of course you know it. It's a punt return. There's got to be a flag on the play.
That's the way we play these games anymore. And Curtis Buckley with a close call, but you could see it right at the point of attack. And once again, the defender able to turn those shoulders away and make it appear to be a block in the back. You really almost can't take a shot in this league anymore if it's even close, because the defenders have learned the way to take a dive.
During the run back, illegal block from behind, number 28, 10 yards, first down.
I'll get on my soapbox now. I know it's a different sport, but in hockey they have a problem with players taking dives, and they try to address that in the offseason. I think the NFL Rules Committee's got to do something, because the punt and kickoff returns, the two most exciting plays, I think, in the game, and they've been taken out of the game by all these dumb penalties.
I agree with you, Tom. We really, when you don't get a chance to watch those open field runs, it just takes an element of drama out of the game.
1st and 10 for Dilfer. Well, not that many in the completion pattern tonight, only 2 completions, but both of them over 20 yards. And look at this, Alvin Harper is getting some action. Alvin Harper's in the slot to the right. I don't think he'll be doing any blocking. Jerry Ellison needed some blocking. He loses about a yard or 2.
Okay, Alvin, that's good. Now come on back over and sit on the bench and get ready for opening day. That's about all they need to see out of Alvin Harper. Sam White's telling me before the ball game that it was everything that he could do. They're just bugging him to death. Alvin Harper wants to get in the game, so he said, maybe I'll put him in, let him run down the sideline, as long as he promises not to touch anybody. And you can see the smile from Alvin.
Please, don't block anybody. Don't get in anybody's way. 2nd down and 10. They rule that running play, no gain. Ellison. Dilfer, the quick one to the tight end, Jackie Harris. He's up to the 38-yard line. Chad Brown brought him down.
There's a nice sign. Every time you see Trent Dilfer read a blitz, hit the hot read, it is a step in the right direction.
And the old security blanket, the tight end, that's, in most offenses, that's the safety valve in a blitz, isn't it?
Well, you're going to see, that's right, you're going to see a lot of 2 and 3 tight end formations out of the Buccaneers tonight. They just want to shore up that protection against this blitzing Steeler defense.
3rd down and 6. Dilfer, plenty of time. Over the middle. Oh, there was double coverage in the area of Harris. Most notably, Chad Brown in the area. And Dilfer, I think, fortunate that wasn't picked off.
Well, that's twice now that he's tried to go to the tight end, and it simply wasn't there. Jackie Harris had to dip around Chad Brown, and when he did, probably threw off the timing just a bit. But the one place you don't want to miss as a quarterback is high. Miss low if you must, but don't miss high, because you bring in some of the bad guys in that secondary into the picture.
Reggie Roby, his 2nd punt of the football game. Back for Pittsburgh, Andre Hastings. He watches it go out of bounds. Where are they going to mark this off? Right there at the 15 1/4 yard line.
Boy, there is a weapon. When you can angle it from your own 30-yard line, get it out inside the 20, that is a weapon.
3-zip Buccaneers back to Tampa Stadium in a moment.
The lease rate looks good, but I want it with no down payment.
Now, get 0 down payment leases at your Chrysler Plymouth dealer. That's right, the leases you want with the best number you can get. 0 down payment. Example, lease the hot-selling Plymouth Neon for this low monthly rate with 0 down payment. Get it now at Chrysler Plymouth, the 0 down payment leases. We hear you. Only at your Chrysler Plymouth dealer, the leasing store.
What a sandwich!
Taco Bell introduces the Texas Taco Sandwich. Oven-baked flatbread with chicken or beef
and a tangy southwestern sauce, starting at 99 cents. It tastes so big, it ought to be outlawed. Yummy.
The Dodge Buyer's Choice Final Cleanup brings to a close the most successful sale in Dodge history. So you've got to hurry to take your choice of $500 cash savings on a new, technically sophisticated Dodge Stratus. Or choose a Stratus interest rate as low as 1.9%. Or choose a Stratus lease rate as low as $199 a month. So hurry in today before your best Stratus choices are all cleaned out. See the friendly Dodge dealer near you.
44 Sports welcomes you back to Tampa Stadium. You get a look at the big crowd here tonight. They're talking about possibly a preseason record over 50,000, Chris.
Yeah, and the emotion is here, and the defense is here. This is a good Steeler offense. Led the league last year in rushing, and so far Hardy Nickerson and Lonnie Martz and company shutting it down.
First and 10 for the Steelers, right on the 15-yard line. And the give to Van Morris, who has room to rumble. Van Morris picks up the first down. Barney Bussey brought him down.
Well, the one thing that you always see out of Pittsburgh Steeler offensive linemen is the ability to move. That time coming across was Thomas Newberry kicking out and creating a big hole. The Steelers have historically always loved that trap play, and when they make it work, it is pretty.
And Newberry's been doing that for years. He played so many seasons with the LA/St. Louis Rams. I'll get it right. Open mouth, insert foot. Here's the pressure on O'Donnell. And I'll tell you what paid off that time for Tampa Bay, the rush by Barney Bussey. Just ruined that play.
Well, that time, Rusty Tillman and company giving Ron Earhart and this Pittsburgh Steelers offense a little dose of their own medicine, coming with the strong safety blitz. And that play wasn't going to be there anyway. They were setting up the screen, but Bussey threw it off. And Barney is sort of one of those clever guys. You never really know what the heck to expect from him, but he has always made plays. My teammate for a long time in Cincinnati.
Second down and 10. Van Morris trips up and around the 30, falls forward to the 32, gain of around 5. Santana Dotson given credit for his first tackle tonight.
And give a little credit now to this Tampa Bay defensive front. Santana Dotson and company right up front. That time handling his man Thomas Newberry and gaining a little measure of revenge for that nice trap block a few moments ago. They really need Santana Dotson to step up this year.
On 3rd and 6, Warren Sapp comes in, big number 99 for Tampa Bay. Put the pass rush, or tried to, on O'Donnell. O'Donnell almost had it picked off. Charles Dimry was the only man on the field who got a hand on that one. Punting situation again.
The pressure wasn't there, but Charles Dimry was. So far, if you're looking for an MVP of this football game, number 39 gets my vote.
Johnny Barnes, the intended receiver. That was a terrible pass. That was nowhere near Barnes.
Well, you know, there really was only one place to throw that football, and it wasn't there.
No. 3 hurries have been racked up statistically on the quarterback O'Donnell as Ron Stark waits for an 11th man to get on before he punts it away. Verdun. He'll take it at his 25. Look at him do the dance and get away. He ran a long ways to his left with negligible results, but he's still alive to tell about it. And look at Ron Stark giving him some business on the sideline.
Ron Stark, the only guy that he can mouth off to in this league is Clarence Verdun.
And, of course, the ever-present flag at the 50-yard line. And bring it back. Now, Verdun went out of bounds at the 30. Let's see how far back they take it.
During the kick, holding number 45 of the receiving team, 10 yards. It'll be first down.
Tony Stargell, the guilty party there. It'll be 1st and 10 inside the 20-yard line. And we'll take timeout for a commercial after that 44-yard punt. 11:34 to go in the half. We thought it would be a defensive struggle. So far it is.
And now, 44 reasons to watch the Buccaneers on Channel 44. to you by Hardy Nickerson.
Friday night at 8, the Bucs are going to sink the Dolphins in the final preseason game live from Orlando. Only on the home of the Buccaneers, Channel 44.
The Bucs start here.
In the everyday world, it rains. With the world-class network from GTE, it rains too. You just don't get wet. Change the way you work. Change the way you live. It's amazing what you can do with the world-class network from GTE.
This summer's hottest event just got hotter. Mitsubishi's Summer of Thunder heats up with an electrifying offer on an Eclipse GS. Lease for just $249 a month for 48 months with $1,000 down. But hurry in, because this offer ends soon. And so does the Summer of Thunder from Mitsubishi, the new thinking in automobiles.
Always lots of pretty ladies in Florida, Chris. I love to come down to the Sunshine State. Unbelievable.
I'm not going to make any comment at all.
A lot of talent.
I'm a happily married man now. I'm not even looking at the television set. That's what I want to see, some football. I like looking at quarterbacks now.
Wipe that smile off your face. First and 10, Tampa Bay at the 13-yard line. I like that, halfway married. That penalty really pushing the Bucs back. A stern test here for Dilfer in the offense against one of the best defensive units in the league. There's no bones about it. Jerry Ellison huffs and puffs over the 15, up to the 17-yard line where Levon Kirkland brings him down.
And Jerry Ellison has certainly made an impression so far during the course of this training camp. He and Bobby Joe Edmonds, we're also going to get a chance to see Tiger McMillan tonight. But Jerry Ellison is a guy that just through sheer effort alone has turned a few heads with this Tampa Bay coaching staff.
Going to make for some interesting decisions.
Well, really a tough decision in that offensive backfield.
Brett is sitting, and Ellison right now will carry the mail. The mail is faked to him, and Dilfer, and the pocket, you might say, broke down. Had a lot of time. All of a sudden, Greg Lloyd says, wait a minute, that's enough of that.
I think Trent Dilfer watched the game last week in which Brett Favre got knocked about 5 yards across the field. This time, Greg Lloyd's wind alone will knock down Trent Dilfer. I think maybe his heart failed for just a moment. He passed out in midfield.
The ball now is back on the 9-yard line, so the Bucs marching valiantly backwards on this drive. It's 3rd and 14. Don't want to have a turnover here. That's your main concern. Dilfer looking left. Got plenty of time in the pocket. Lost it out there and almost intercepted. He overthrew the intended receiver, Lamar Thomas. Thomas was open in the seam, it appeared, Chris, but the ball was over his head.
One of the more difficult routes to get your timing between quarterback and wide receiver is that corner route. Where is the corner? Is it flat? Is it a deep angle? Is it somewhere in between? And as a quarterback, you have to throw it before the guy makes his break. And sometimes you can just look flat out silly throwing that ball.
Andre Hastings back in single safety. Standing at his own 40, Reggie Roby does the honors again, and this is a shank. This is a bad punt. And let's see where they're going to mark it out of bounds. This won't even be close to midfield. It is out at the Tampa Bay 34-yard line, if I read the official correctly.
And apparently Reggie had a few of those this week in practice.
Well, he won't remember that punt. Not one of his more memorable efforts in his stellar career. Buccaneers have a 3-0 lead. How long will it last? Back in a moment.
In 1970, Elton's very first song went gold. Then Rocket Man went gold. Then 103 of his other songs went gold. And now that he's touring with 38 musicians and a small army of stagehands...
And how will you be paying?
Elton's gone gold.
Money? These are gold. Oh, you'll need 371 wake-up calls.
After all, nothing's got the power of gold.
There's something I want to ask you.
Hey! Huge sale at your local Southern Ford dealer. The model year-end clearance sale.
making room for 96s with great deals on 95s. Like cashback or low APR on Ford Ranger. $1,000 cashback on Windstar. Even great deals on Explorer. Hey, gotta take the plunge.
Heard about the sale at your local Southern Ford dealer?
Hey!
You will.
Hey, you can use 1-800-CALL-ATT whether you're calling across town or across country.
Really?
And right now, every time you use it, you're automatically entered to win a VIP vacation for 4 to Disneyland.
Yeah, with rare stuff, like a private photo session with Pocahontas and the stars of her stage show.
Plus thousands of other great Disneyland prizes, like early admission to the Indiana Jones Adventure.
So to win, just dial 1-800-CALL-ATT for all your calling card calls. And you might get to know Mickey.
That's your true choice, AT&T.
Sam White's very upset on the sidelines, was really giving it to referee Jerry Austin, claiming that somebody was physically abusing one of his players out there.
Yeah, I think Terrell Buckley is having a pretty tough time of it so far tonight. He's been held and got tomahawked a few times on that last punt cover team, and Sam just wanting to draw a little attention to it. Maybe they'll see it next time.
24-yard punt by Reggie Roby. That's almost incredible to even say that. And O'Donnell, the Steelers set up camp. By far their best field position of the night as Van Morris takes it down to the 25-yard line before Barney Bussey brings him down. Bam's had a pretty good night running the football tonight.
He has a tough act to follow in Barry Foster, and anytime you're willing to let go a back making about $3 million a year, the guy coming in next better be pretty doggone good, and you see the reason why they were willing to let Barry Foster go.
9 carries tonight for Morris, 38 yards. O'Donnell only 3 for 11 in the air. That could be the reason that he lets Morris do most of the work. Bam is brought down close to the first down stick by Demetrius DeVos. Linebacker, that's going to be a position where the Bucs have to examine some people.
Yeah, it really is, and it's a difficult decision now for this coaching staff. Of course, Hardy Nickerson, a very solid player, but behind him you have a lot of youth. You have Demetrius DeVos in there, Derek Brooks, and they really need to see some special play out of Derek Brooks and Demetrius DeVos.
Third down at about a yard. Hastings in motion. Van Morris is 2 straight ahead. Don't know. Close, but I don't think any cigar. DeVos says they didn't make it. I'm sure we'll have a look at it. Didn't make it.
Boy, that's a nice job in there by Demetrius DeVos, and give credit to the defensive line in front. Looked like Mark Spindler may have gotten a little penetration right up the gut, and that allowed DeVos to come in and finish off the play and actually drive him backwards.
Well, the Steelers are saying no thank you to the field goal. They're going for it here, 4th and short. A lot of situation substitutions at the last minute. O'Donnell a bit confused. He'll call a timeout.
Timeout, Pittsburgh.
Thank you.
Their second.
With 8:09 left to go in the half.
Play clock down to 3 there, and for Bill Cowher, he wants to see a few touchdowns out of this offense. They've had nothing so far.
We'll see what the Steelers come up with when we come back on Channel 44 in a moment.
No more talking, no more waiting. Now's the time for action. It's Pontiac closeout time. Hundreds of new 95 Pontiacs still in stock. Look at that selection. Get $1,000 closeout cash back on full-size Bonneville. $1,000 cash back on new 95 Pontiac Transport. Act now. Get $500 cash back on new Grand Am. $500 cash back on new Grand Prix sedan. Hurry to close out 95. See your local Florida Pontiac dealers. Act now.
So we gotta say goodbye for the summer.
For $14.99, KFC gives you your choice of chicken, plus large mashed potatoes, gravy, any other large side, biscuits, honey barbecue wings, and our new big and chocolatey Oreo brownies. You'd be crazy to cook, unless this is where you want to spend your summer.
Yes, we gotta say goodbye for the summer.
So come into our kitchen and get the new You'd Be Crazy to Cook Mega Meal.
It's the summer's hottest event. Mitsubishi Summer of Thunder. Maybe your last chance for the best savings ever on a Galant S. Lease for just $0 down and $249 a month for 36 months. And only Mitsubishi adds $500 cash back to this offer on a Galant S with automatic transmission, air conditioning, power windows and door locks, and more. $0 down and $500 cash back during the Summer of Thunder. From Mitsubishi, the new thinking in automobiles.
High anxiety here at Tampa Stadium. The Pittsburgh Steelers are going for it on 4th down and 1. The ball is at the 24-yard line. And the Buccaneer defense wants the crowd to get up and join in. Let's see what happens here. And Van Morris, I believe, has enough for the first down on the pitch. Tony Scargill the tackle, but he didn't get much.
You know, one of the advantages of taking that time out, it gave Neil O'Donnell a chance to come up, take a look at the defense. He evidently felt that they were going to have it stacked up inside. The Steelers decided to go outside. Always a risky maneuver, but one thing the Steelers have are those mobile offensive linemen can get out front. Good play call by Ron Earhart.
And a big block there by right guard Justin Strelzik. The Black Bear from Maine was the main reason that Van Morris had enough room for the first down. And now O'Donnell goes to the air and has his man at the 13-yard line. His man is Yancey Thigpen, and Scargill brings him down.
There's the staple of this Pittsburgh Steeler passing game. They love those wide receiver crossing routes, especially when you get in man coverage. They like to put people in motion and just get a foot race going. That time Tony Scargill unable to keep up.
2nd down and 1. Thigpen out of Little Winston-Salem State makes the catch. 9-yard gain. Van Morris, first down and more, down to the 6-7-yard line, but a nice effort anyway by Melvin Johnson. 25, Johnson brought him down.
And the Steelers really are reviving a lost art. Last year in the NFL, the average per rush was 3.7 yards. That's the lowest in NFL history. The Steelers team ranked #1, especially in the fourth quarter, averaging 4.3 yards per carry. So they have a way of wearing down opposing defenses.
Van Morris, a workhorse, 13 carries for about 50 yards already tonight. Make it 14. And this one not for much. Santana Dotson is in there, and Chidi Ahanatu also. That's a lot of beef on top of Morris.
Indeed. Very steady player there, Chidi Ahanatu. Not spectacular, not the Eric Curry kind of flash. Watch Barney Bussey come out of the screen and force Van Morris to bounce it outside. That gave the defenders, Melvin Johnson and company, a chance to catch up.
Ball is on the 7-yard line. 2nd down and goal. The give is to number 20, and that is Eric Pegram on his first carry of the night, the former Atlanta Falcon, and he doesn't get much. Derek Brooks in on the tackle.
And Eric Pegram, a guy coming over from the Falcons, was sensational a couple of years ago, rushing for over 1,100 yards. But for Rusty Tillman in this defense, his defense has played so well so far in the preseason. Now you're backed up to your own goal line. You have a chance for a little pride check. You know that he would love to see this team hold him to just 3 here.
3rd and goal for the 5. Once again, the fans get involved. Look out, O'Donnell. Oh, he had pressure from the rear. He hung in there and throws the pass for the touchdown to the rookie tight end, Mark Bruner out of Washington, and Pittsburgh takes the lead.
And once again, the old bugaboo for the Tampa Bay defense. A lack of pressure allows Neil O'Donnell to stand in the pocket, go through every receiver in the book, and absolutely no problem finding Mark Bruner, who, of course, is there to replace Eric Green. But the worst team in the league a year ago getting pressure, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, they have to do better than that.
Sondrick McIntosh tried, but he did not take the proper angle. Iasuchi is in to attempt the extra point. It is good with 4 minutes and 50 seconds to go in the half. And that man, Bruner, who was a late signee, draft choice from the University of Washington, puts the Steelers on top. Eric Green, that's going to be a big spot to fill for Pittsburgh.
Yeah, it really is. And Bill Cowher knew that he had to go out and get some help at that position. Kyle Brady, the guy that got all the attention, but they think Mark Bruner is going to be a good one. There's Rusty Tillman talking with the troops, and a couple of different chances there for his guys to make plays. First on 4th down and then on 3rd down and 5.
And Bruner, the hero for the moment for Pittsburgh. The 5-yard TD pass. There's still some good seats available for all the Bucs regular season home games. Don't miss the start of the new day in Tampa Bay. Pick up your tickets now. Call the Bucs ticket office or Ticketmaster for your seats. The home opener is September 17th. The Chicago Bears come to Tampa. Season opens the 3rd in Philadelphia. There is Clarence Verdun.
Remember, all that set up because of the poor punt by Reggie Roby.
Isuki chance to move into it at the 30-yard line. Yeah, you tend to forget that in the overall score. The 24-yard punt, they gave a great field position.
Well, you make it a 33-yard field, and more often than not, you're going to get burned.
Here's Isuki. End-over-end line drive. A good one. Halfway in the end zone, Verdun takes the advice there of Mike Magruder and takes the knee and be 1st and 10 at the 20.
All right, time to get a little offense cranked up now. Trent Dilfer had a chance for the big play in the first half. Simply overthrew the deep ball, made the bad throw on the interception. You like to see him get in there, get a little steady now. They've been giving him some decent protection, but 3 of 11 for 45 yards, just not getting it done so far.
1st and 10 at the 20. Dilfer may be changing the play here at the line of scrimmage, doing a lot of talking out to his right. And still moving people around. Here's a give to Edmonds. Edmonds rushes up over the 30-yard line to the 32. Carnell Lake just signed this week. Brings down the speedy Bobby Joe Edmonds.
What a block that time by Dave Moore, playing the lead fullback position over here on the side. Just is simply going to cut the legs out from underneath the defender. That's Joel Steed, and boom, right there. That's what created the huge hole for Bobby Joe Edmonds.
12-yard gain for Edmonds. Running play up the middle, significantly less. Moore, the ball carrier there. Greg Lloyd, the tackle. Well, that's why Dilfer was telling Moore where to go.
Yeah, because he had to come down there and block Joel Steed. And for Dave Moore, it's a difficult assignment. He has to learn the tight end position. He has to learn the fullback position. But certainly after they let Rudy Harris go, you know the direction that they're going now. Dave Moore will be the fullback come opening day.
Ball on the 35-yard line. 2nd down at about 6.5. Edmonds again. This time he is wrapped up, and I mean wrapped up by LaVon Kirtland, who almost took the handoff.
Well, you hear so much about speed in the National Football League. The Dallas Cowboys won 2 world championships with it on defense, and there really aren't many defenses much faster than the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Kirkland, I didn't see the offensive lineman who was victimized. Kirkland just ran over somebody to get to the ball carrier.
He is a big inside linebacker, 250 pounds plus.
Passing down for Dilfer. Stays in the pocket, lost it to the sideline. Flag on the play. And I believe the catch was made over there by Horace Copeland. Woodson was defending. No catch, all right. But the flag appears to be against Pittsburgh.
May have given the young quarterback a little something to remember them by.
Well, didn't hear all of that call by the referee, and he's not taking any guff from the Steelers, is he?
And Greg Lloyd is not a happy camper. He already has a $12,000 dinner tab to pick up thanks to the NFL, and now all of a sudden they're going to get him for a cheap penalty. You know what Rod Woodson was thinking? He was thinking going 6 the other way, and I see with a chance to make the catch that really he should have made.
So the ball right smack dab in the middle of the field. Penalty gives the Buccaneers a 1st down there. Let's see if the Bucs can take advantage from here, trailing 7-3. Dilfer Still has lots of time, has a wide open man, right sideline, touchdown! Touchdown to Horace Copeland. That's what they paid Dill for all that money for it, Chris, to lay that sucker out there right in the receiver's hand.
Boy, if you have any doubts about his willingness to stand in the pocket and then the arm strength, they both got answered on the same play. I just don't think that the Rod Woodson and company believed that Trent Dilfer was going to get that ball out of there. He looked like he was going to take the sack in the backfield, and then he shot off the cannon.
All sorts of procedure here before the extra point. For the record, Houston went ahead and booted it, but the referee stopped everything before the snap. Oh, Horace Copeland, the third-year man out of Miami, takes that aerial from Trent Dilfer.
You know what I think happened on that play? Remember how Rod Woodson jumped the underneath route?
Encroachment. Number 95 will retry, and it'll be penalized on the kickoff.
Jumped the underneath route on the play before. They come back with some sort of an out and up. Rod Woodson bites all over it. Greg Lloyd not happy. The Buccaneers fans having some fun.
They sure are. 9-7. They'll penalize the Steelers on the kickoff. Redo the extra point. Boy, Copeland has a flair for the dramatic, as that graphic showed you. When he catches a pass, it's usually for big yardage. Highest per catch average in Buccaneer history. And although it doesn't count in the regular season, there's no preseason, receptions like that ain't going to hurt it. Houston trying to give the Bucs a 3-point margin. Wasn't beautiful, but it counted. 2 minutes, 43 seconds left here in the first half. Dilfer to Copeland, a 4-play drive that went 80 yards.
The pressure was there, but Horace Copeland that time made a fool out of one of the 5 active players named to the NFL's 75th anniversary team, and you could almost see that one coming. Woodson had really been jumping on the underneath coverage. I'm sure Horace Copeland went to the sideline or gave the signal, perhaps upstairs in the booth. Kirk Schoenert saw it, and they said, all right, it's time for a little dipsy-do. Let's fake the out and turn it up the field. And Rod Woodson got beat on those types of plays several times last year. And Greg Lloyd continues to argue his point. Remember, it was the penalty on Lloyd that kept the drive going.
Ernie Mills will be back to take the kickoff. You know, Horace Copeland, he's really been a productive receiver. Over his 2 years in Tampa Bay, he's got an average of 20 yards per catch. And he's the leading receiver in all the National Football League so far in the preseason. Had 9 receptions coming in for a total of 170 yards after 2 games.
Well, he had that big opening game against the Jets, and when you talk to this coaching staff, they say he has just been spectacular, not just in the game, but very impressive in practice as well.
Mills is back, Houston is ready, and the crowd is up. 10-7 Bucs. 2:43 to go here in the first half. Line drive. But the key is it is deep in the end zone, and the touchback is taken. Ernie Mills goes to one knee, and the Steelers will start first and 10 at the 20. There's the drive. And remember that penalty on the roughing against Dilfer to help set it up.
And it's fun to watch Curtis Buckley run down on any sort of a kickoff or a punt. He's always in the middle of something, and he's been held, he's been cut, he's been chopped on. And now he's going to go back and get a little measure of revenge. The play's already in the end zone. It's over. But for Buckley, he doesn't care. He just wants to go down and smack somebody around, hit one in the head. And let me find one more guy here before I get off the field because I want to make sure I earn this paycheck.
Oh, you know who he was picking on there at the end? Someone his own size, Fred McAfee. And a whistle before the snap. Ball at the 20-yard line.
It'll be a 40-second timeout.
40-second timeout, I believe, for the Buccaneers.
Well, that's the one thing that you like to see out of a young quarterback, out of an offense that's trying to grow, trying to establish a reputation. You have the poor punt, the short field position. The Steelers come up with the cheap touchdown, and then all of a sudden right back in 4 plays to retake the lead.
Well, don't forget, it's almost time for the Meet the Bucks luncheon. Huddle up with the Buck. It's time for the 20th annual Meet the Bucks luncheon at the Hyatt Regency in Tampa, August 24th. Tickets available now, and reservations can be made by calling 870-1300 extension 221. That's 870-1300 extension 221. Meet the Bucks luncheon, August 24th at noon. That's right, at the Hyatt Regency in Tampa. Makes sense. Luncheon, noon.
That would sit well with me.
Wouldn't want to have it at 8 o'clock at night.
And now let's see if we get a little emotion out of this defense. Boy, is it fun to play defense after your team has just put together a scoring drive like that.
Out of the shotgun, the handoff for Pittsburgh, and taking the brunt of that hit, Fred McAfee.
Barney Bussey just ripping out of the secondary. And you see the guns on Barney Bussey. Really, he's not going to be anywhere to be seen in your screen, and then just boom.
And that moved it up to the 23-yard line, 2nd and 7. O'Donnell to the short side, has his man at Johnny Barnes, and Barnes has the first down on the coverage, Martin Mayhew. And a flag on the play in the backfield.
Martin Mayhew helping the officials.
Now, the referee doesn't know. I guess he just fell out of his pocket.
One of those oops flags.
First down Steelers, 2:06 to go in the half. And unless they get the snap off soon, we're going to have the 2-minute warning. Just missed. The whistle sound with an even 2 minutes to go in the first half. An entertaining second quarter after a slow start for both sides offensively. And with 2 minutes to go in the half, the Buccaneers lead it by a count of 10-7. Back with more on 44 in a moment.
The lease rate looks good, but I want it with no down payment.
Now, get 0 down payment leases at your Chrysler Plymouth dealer. That's right, the leases you want with the best number you can get. 0 down payment. Example, lease the hot-selling Plymouth Neon for this low monthly rate with 0 down payment. Get it now at Chrysler Plymouth, the 0 down payment leases. We hear you. Only at your Chrysler Plymouth dealer, the leasing store.
What's with a bib? It's not a bib. It's a napkin. Looks like a bib. No, you know, I don't want to get stuff all over me. Well, then why'd you get that Western Whopper? I mean, it's got bacon, cheddar, barbecue sauce. Because I refuse to live my life in fear. But you live your life in a bib. It's not a bib. It's not a bib.
The flame-broiled Whopper, now with cheddar cheese, hickory smoked bacon, and barbecue sauce. The Western Whopper, for a limited time at Burger King.
See? Look at that. Works. What's that? That's breakfast.
The biggest 95 final clearance. Best Tampa Bay area savings, but only at your new Super 6 Toyota dealers. Yes, 6 Super 6 Toyota dealers working to give you record-breaking savings. Huge 95 Toyota final clearance, 4 days only, today through Sunday. Thousands of Toyotas for thousands less. Save $1,500 cash back on new Toyotas. No cash down on Toyota trucks. Toyota financing now as low as 2.9%. Hurry to your Super 6 Toyota dealer today. Sutherland, Performance, Sun, Precision, Courtesy, Stadium. Final 95 Toyota clearance now.
Bill Cowher and the Steelers looking on anxiously. 2-minute warning has been had here at Tampa Stadium. The Steelers have it 1st and 10 at their own 34. Tom Mees and Chris Collinsworth with you on Bucks preseason football on 44. And Neil O'Donnell, well, he's had better nights, I suppose.
Well, absolutely. You have to give a little credit to the Buccaneers secondary. Charles Demery with an outstanding game so far. Like to see a little pressure out of the front four, though, right now. Really haven't gotten to him all night.
Well, they haven't, that's for sure. They got close a couple of times, but he's been put down to the turf. Out of the shotgun, he steps up, unloads across the middle for negligible yardage. Yancey Thigpen, who had lined up wide left, came across, and March planted him.
Those are the kind of plays that linebackers like to see wide receivers run.
2nd and 4, clock continues to run. To the sideline. Reception by Hastings. He's down at the 48. Mayhew, the tackle, and the Steelers hurried up.
Don't forget the great drive that Martin Mayhew's down on the turf. So they'll take a time, and this will be a charge timeout in the last couple of minutes of the half or the game. Anytime a player gets hurt, it's a charge timeout.
Mayhew, in his 8th season, the veteran out of Florida State, appears to be a bit groggy, Chris.
Didn't exactly see what happened to him on the play.
A lot of hard hitting going down there from all angles, and they'll just give Martin a seat and hope to clear the cobwebs. By the way, I understand our game last week in Cincinnati, the wide receiver McGee had a severe concussion, and they're talking to him about maybe retiring?
Yeah, just to update that situation. Here's Ron Earhart, Neil O'Donnell discussing the next play. But Tim McGee is still experiencing some numbness in his extremities, his hands, his feet. And there's some doubt as to whether or not he's ever going to play again. And it was a scary situation. If you saw the game last week, they had to take him off the field. And really, by the time they had taken him off the field, he didn't have any movement at all in his legs. So just happy to hear that he can get up and walk around.
That's for sure, and our best to him, no matter what decision he makes. 1:23 to go in the half. Steelers with a first down. O'Donnell, the short dump pattern across the middle to Fred McAfee, and Wilson brings him down, Jerry Wilson. Short of the first down.
This is a nice drive being put together here by Neil O'Donnell. Of course, remember the playoff game against the Chargers, in which he threw for over 350 yards. Several drives like this, one at the end of the game that came up just short.
To the sidelines again. Andre Hastings, the receiver again, and steps out of bounds at the 37. Tony Stargill in the area.
And now when the team starts to hit all the underneath thing and you're back down inside your 40-yard line, now it's time to play defense like you were playing it before. You know, the old prevent defense thing that does one thing, it prevents you from winning.
And coaches will always play it, and I don't understand it. I never have. O'Donnell, and right in the face of Hastings that time is Barney Bussey. Just a couple of yards, second down. The clock continues to roll, 42 and counting. For the shotgun again. First option coverage, finds Hastings in the flat, and Lonnie March keeps him from going too much farther. In fact, kept him for the first down. And forces O'Donnell to call a timeout with 27 seconds left.
And that is their last. So now this Tampa Bay defense, you don't have to worry about that. Lonnie March, great speed. Boy, it's nice to have linebackers that can play all three downs. It just not that many of those guys around now. Usually they're coming out or in blitz situations, putting in defensive backs, but Lonnie March, a guy that has the speed to play all three.
Lonnie March, of course, the former Kansas City Chief, came over to the Buccaneers as an unrestricted free agent. And no, he does not have a cut on the bridge of his nose. That's one of those breathe right things that you see. Herschel Walker actually started that, and it's supposed, I'm told, it does make you breathe better.
Someone was asked one time why they were wearing that thing by a fan, and the answer was money. So apparently there's a little endorsement cash going around if you're willing, so you're liable to see them more and more this season.
Pittsburgh only 1 out of 6, as you see, on third down conversions. It's 3rd and 2 here with 27 seconds left. No timeouts left for the Steelers. 10-7 Tampa Bay. O'Donnell forced backward and gets rid of it nicely to Fred McAfee, and McAfee is out of bounds, I believe, with a first down as well. Stargill on the tackle.
Steelers, one of the better screen teams in the league. They always have been, and as a defender there, the goal without any timeouts is to keep them in bounds. That's what you're trying to do, because then you're probably looking at only one more play, but they did a nice job getting those linemen out in front and allowing McAfee to get it out of bounds.
First and 10 at the 24, 19 seconds in the half. See if O'Donnell takes a shot at the end zone. Loads it up. That's where he's going. Triple coverage, though. The intended receiver, Johnny Barnes, I don't think really had a chance to catch that. Martin Mayhew is back in the game.
And apparently his head is okay. That was one you sort of hold your breath. You will see a flag on occasion here. Martin making his effort for the ball. It's fairly clean.
Mayhew can breathe now, a sigh of relief. Second down and 10, 13 seconds to go in the half.
Really no options now for Neil O'Donnell except going to the end zone or to the sideline.
And the shotgun this entire drive. has to finally just throw it out of bounds, and nobody was open. With 7 seconds left, the Steeler field goal unit comes in. Dean Biasucci will try. So the Bucs defensive unit has held the Steelers to a field goal attempt here. A 2-minute offense. They'll mark it at the hash mark left. 42 yards away for Biasucci. He missed one earlier. He's missed 2. Wide left. And that ends the first half here at Tampa Stadium. And the hand, my friends, is for the Buccaneers. Primarily their defensive unit. Bill Cowher and the Steelers, they haven't committed too many turnovers tonight. I don't think they're all that enthralled with the officiating, but that's nothing new with head coaches in the National Football League. Chris, I think the Bucs acquitted themselves quite well in that first half.
Yeah, they sure did. If you're looking for positives, of course, Trent Dilfer standing in there and completing the long pass, coming up with the big play to atone for the one that he missed earlier. Defensively, a solid effort. If there's any problem so far, just the lack of pressure on Neil O'Donnell. But anytime you hold the Pittsburgh Steelers to 7 points in the first half, Rusty Tillman has to be fairly pleased.
Now with the Chrysler Plymouth second quarter summary, the big play of the quarter, of course, after the penalty for roughing a passer, Trent Dilfer 50 yards to Horace Copeland. And that accounted for the Buccaneer touchdown. And the big reason why the Bucs leave the field, leading Bill Cowher and the Steelers by a count of 10-7. We'll be back with the first half statistics and highlights of the first half as our coverage on Channel 44 continues in a moment.
You ain't seen nothing yet. This fall, you got to get home fast. So you catch that TV set, because when this guy's on...
It's invigorating. A steaming hot face stuff.
He is on.
That's a good cigar.
His buttocks are sublime.
Coming this fall.
You ain't seen nothing yet.
At Boston Chicken, we started with honest-to-goodness meals. Chicken that's slow-roasted, juicy, and delicious, as well as freshly prepared side dishes, like our mashed potatoes made from scratch. But now, we're so much more. Introducing the new Boston Market, a place where you can go for great home-style meals, like rotisserie roasted turkey breast, double-glazed ham, and double-sauced meatloaf. Now we're more than just great chicken. We're the new Boston Market.
When I'm in my Jimmy, nothing gets in my way. Of course, I've got Jimmy's available four-wheel drive anti-lock brakes and premium smooth suspension. Yeah, when I'm in my Jimmy, I'm in complete control. Daddy! It's when I get out that I begin to panic.
GMC Jimmy, thousands less than comparably equipped Jeep Grand Cherokee or Ford Explorer. See your Suncoast GMC truck dealer today.
Almost set for the second half here. The Buccaneer fans happy with a 3-point lead. Now Pittsburgh trailing 3-0. Neil O'Donnell got to the lead, Chris.
Plenty of time to get this pass off. The lack of pressure. Found Mark Bruner, the draft choice, #1 draft choice in the end zone. But then Trent Dilfer came right back the other way, and they were working against the great Rod Woodson. And High C made him pay for a little over-aggressiveness. The Buccaneers take the lead into the half.
And 10-7 is the only stat that counts, but for some of those who are other interesting stats, I should say, the passing yards about even. Rushing yards, Bam Morris has given Pittsburgh the edge there.
But it was the big play that really was the difference in that first half.
That's right, the big play for Tampa Bay, the Dilfer to Copeland touchdown pass, and a bad punt by Reggie Roby setting up the Pittsburgh Steelers touchdown drive. We'll be back with the start of the second half on WTOG, Channel 4.
Cadillac's North Star powertrain system is a gem, world-class, popular mechanics. Seville outsells the Lexus LS 400 and Infiniti Q45 combined. Count on Cadillac this summer to bring you a new Seville SLS with the North Star system at its lowest lease rate of the year. Just $499 a month for 36 months with $499 down. Cadillac, creating a higher standard. The Cadillac dealers of Florida, the luxury leaders.
Mr. Sampras, you know why you're here, don't you?
Kind of dumb.
We'll fix that. Let's see. Go up to the umpire. You say, you were wrong. You were wrong. Swat a few balls, throw a few rackets. The ball was in. The ball was in. I'm incompetent. Yell at me. Say the motto. Or two. And eat your pizza the wrong way. Crust first. Why didn't you say so?
Stuffed crust pizza from Pizza Hut. With a zesty new sauce and cheese baked into a new, thinner crust, you'll want to eat crust first.
Two at once. I've created a monster.
Large, just $9.99.
The heat is on.
The heat is on now at your local Mercury dealer during the Mercury Clearance Countdown with hot deals on some of the year's best cars, like Mercury Grand Marquis, Florida's best-selling full-size car. Grand Marquis is big on room, comfort, power, and value. And it's now available with some great summer clearance deals. So get one now while the deals are hot during the Mercury Clearance Countdown at your local Mercury dealer.
The heat is
Set now for the second half as the Buccaneers see what they can do about holding off the Pittsburgh Steelers in week 3 of the preseason. Only one more dress rehearsal before the season opens September 3rd in Philadelphia. Dean Biasucci, the longtime Colt, punting to Clarence Verdun, who's been around this game a long time.
Biasucci may be a Colt again if he doesn't start making a few field goals.
End over end of Verdun at the 5. Yeah, Gary Anderson, they bid him adieu. They may be rethinking that strategy. Verdun. Oh, he gets away from one tackle and does a nice job, does Clarence, up to the 21-yard line. Ed Toner, the tackle.
He's fun to watch. Clarence Verdun, you're never really sure. Be tough to block for him because you never really know. He'll start off left and go a little bit to the right. And of course, when you're that size, you don't want to take too many chances with your body, but he certainly makes your heart skip a beat or two.
And he runs without those thigh pads. Somebody that small, that's amazing to me. He's going to take some wicked hits on those run backs. Whatever. Here come the Buccaneers out running. Over the 30-yard line for the first down is Tiger McMillan, the youngster out of Florida State. Ed Robinson with the tackle, but hold everything, a flag on the play.
Looks like they're going to get Dave Moore for an illegal use of the hands.
Number 83 of the offense. 10 yards. Repeat first down.
And I think Dave Moore was fine on this play until the very end. He did a great job of getting outside head position, allowing the back to get outside of him. You'll see him coming right there at your screen, jumping to the outside. And then the second sort of takedown move, that was the one that got him the hole.
But McMillan was already by at the time.
I don't think Dave Moore knew that, though.
That'll bring up a 1st and 18 after the walk-off. Pittsburgh looked like they violated the neutral zone. Maybe a free play for Dilfer. Gets it out to Charles Wilson up to the original line of scrimmage at the 21. Robinson again the tackle. And we'll find out about the flag. Hopefully. Pittsburgh offside. And guess who was offside, Chris, for the Pittsburgh Steelers? Number 78, your friend and mine, Ta'ase Fa'umui.
That's right.
Second-year man out of, you guessed it, Hawaii. Ta'ase Fa'umui.
I only mentioned he will get all night long.
You're darn right. I asked the Steelers if he had a nickname. They said no. I said, uh-oh. Second down and 10. Tiger McMillan up the gut. The 54, Jones makes the tackle for Pittsburgh. Dante Jones.
They really want to take a good look at Tiger McMillan out of Florida State. He is one of the fastest players on this offense. Been banged around a little bit, had some injury problems, so this is his showcase night. He really needs to make an impression this evening.
And Tiger stays in as the lone setback behind Dilfer on 3rd and 4. McMillan with a nice block, giving Dilfer the time. Tyree Davis, does he have it? They say he does. Nice grab there by 89. Tyree Davis, the rookie out of Central Arkansas.
Nice story in Tyree Davis, a guy that went over to the World Football League, played in Barcelona, led the league over there, was in the top 3 in catches and yards and touchdowns, And the guy's just a playmaker. You saw it there, pretty pass that time by Trent Dilfer, but Davis went up and made the play and got his feet down.
And McMillan with a nice block, allowing Dilfer to have plenty of time back in the pocket. 1st and 10 on the 48. Tiger McMillan again, cuts it back to the right side, spins, and makes something out of almost nothing. Olszewski, Jerry Olszewski, one of the Steelers to meet him.
You know, other than the one sack so far given up when Trent Dilfer was knocked down by the wind of Greg Lloyd, this offensive line's done a good job. You know, one of the things we talked about at the top of the show was the fact that no one seems to be able to block this Steeler defense. They led the league with 55 sacks a year ago, but so far this offensive line up to the test.
Early here in the 3rd quarter, Tampa Bay nursing a 10-7 lead. Tiger McMillan again, and this time he is tripped up before he can get going. Vincent Dinkins made the tackle, number 74. Well, let's check that. Oliver Gibson on the tackle. Sorry, Oliver.
They go plenty deep on that defensive line. Then when they get in the nickel package, I don't know if you're going to see it so much during the preseason, but this is when they love to bring those corners and safeties, and they're flying at you from all different directions. Of course, Don Capers, the defensive coordinator from last year, now the head coach at Carolina, Dick LeBeau taking his place.
3rd down and 6, just into Steeler territory. Dilfer looking right out of the backfield, has the receiver, and that is Charles Wilson, but I believe Wilson was hit before he got the first down. Myron Bell on the tackle, and Dilfer wants to go for it, but Sam White is saying no. Here comes Roby.
And really, Dilfer had the right idea there. The punt return team was coming on for the Steelers, and what Trent is saying was, I wanted to take the chance, and he's going to get his timeout. He may be a lawyer someday, too. He went over and pleaded his case with Sam White, and apparently he's going to get his shot.
Well, 10:50 left to go on the clock here in the 3rd quarter. Roby is coming back to the sideline. It helps that it's preseason. I don't know in regular season if we'd had this debate. Maybe we would. Buccaneers lead it by 3. Back with more in a moment.
But most of this airline's fleet is modern enough to meet those quieter standards 5 years ahead.
Some things in life you have to wait for. A car of your dreams shouldn't be one of them. The Chevy Camaro. 2 airbags, fuel-injected V6, anti-lock brakes. It's $14,995 worth of genuine Chevrolet.
I've always wanted to do this.
With NFL Sunday Ticket on DirecTV, you get up to 13 regular season games live every Sunday. So if Washington is blowing out the Bucs, just switch to the 49ers Saints game. But hey, is Emmitt Smith breaking the rushing record? Are the Giants crushing the Eagles? You get it. Not on cable, but with DirecTV and this.
Now that's a game plan.
To get NFL Sunday Ticket on the 18-inch DSS dish of your choice, call 1-800-DirecTV.
Well, Trent Dilfer won the argument. He's going to go for it on 4th down and 1. Hey, preseason, I say why not?
I'd like to see him go for it, too, although not so sure this won't be one of those hard counts, and if you have to, take the 5-yard penalty.
We'll soon find out. Steelers not fighting yet. Oh, they did take the long snap. Tiger McMillan, I don't believe he got it. Or did he? Fumble anyway. McMillan hit the turf. The Steelers have it, so it's a moot point. McMillan was actually upended behind the line of scrimmage. He didn't fumble then. I believe he fumbled when he hit the turf.
The penetration here on the part of the Steelers is what made this play. Until exactly looked like Myron Bell coming out of the secondary and just sent McMillan airborne. Really an unusual play from the start. It looked like they were going to go for the hard count and try and draw him off sides, and then actually ran the play.
And we'll take another timeout on WTOG as White and Dilfer confer after that fourth down. The Steelers take over in good field position.
Dodge changed the rules of truck power, the rules of safety, comfort, convenience. And while we were changing those rules, another one changed all by itself. New rule: Dodge pickups now have higher resale than Ford, Chevy, or GMC. Want proof? Check the rule book. The rules have changed. At America's Truck Stop, the new Dodge.
If you're wondering what's cooking at Chili's, well, we're cooking up a table of fun. We've got a menu that'll bring you to Chili's, a little something for everyone. We've got it flamed, grilled, barbecue, so make it a date. And if you're sweet tooth sleeping, we can shake it awake. Let your appetite bring you to Chili's, 'cause we're cooking up a table of fun.
Chili's, like no place else.
Hey, what's the deal? During the Mazda Summer Savings event, the deal is zero down when you lease a well-equipped Mazda 626 LX. That's zero down, just $245 a month. Or drive home the roomy Mazda Protege. Buy now and get $900 cash back, plus an LX luxury package with air conditioning at no extra charge. So you save over $2,000. You want in on the deal? You gotta move fast. Go see your Mazda dealer now.
Welcome back to Tampa Stadium. Tom Mees and Chris Collinsworth with you. The Steelers take over on downs, and Chris, we're going to take a look at an old friend, 11th year in the NFL, Mike Tomczak.
Yeah, and Mike Tomczak really did a great job for the Steelers a year ago. Got a couple of starts during the course of the season, and they were big ones, beating both Miami and beating the Raiders in Los Angeles, and that's what kept the Steelers going on that drive to the AFC Championship game.
First and 10 for the Steelers as Tomczak and company take over at the 42-yard line. The give is to Eric Pegram, and Pegram has some outside running room. Melvin Johnson runs him out of bounds close to the first down.
And Eric Pegram gives the Steelers a back that they really haven't had over the last couple of years. They've always had the bigger backs, the Barry Fosters, the Bam Morrises, and then all of a sudden, after you get used to the pace of Bam Morris, here comes Eric Pegram flying around the corner. Really makes for a nice change-up for this Steeler offense.
Pegram, a fifth-year man, coming over from the Falcons. He is a slasher. Tomczak, his first aerial tonight. It is complete, but with the price. Lynch is nailing Mark Bruner, but Bruner hung on. First down.
Of course, John Lynch, the old baseball player. He was the Marlins' second-round pick back in 92, 0-3, but a 2.15 ERA, so he could strike in more ways than one.
Oh, my goodness. Think he chose the right profession?
I think he did. Yeah. They like him here, and he's right in the hunt with Barney Bussey at that strong safety position.
Lynch, of course, a great baseball program at Stanford. They produced a lot of good ball players over the years. Here's Pegram again. That's it back inside. That's what I like about Pegram. He is so good at reading the blocking and then cutting back where the hole is.
I remember how excited the Atlanta Falcons were when they got him on draft day. They really thought he was going to be the next back, and then, of course, he came out and rushed for over 1,100 yards a couple of years ago, and for whatever reason, last year, I don't know if he got in the doghouse or exactly what happened, but just didn't seem to get the same kind of opportunity.
5-yard gain for Pegram there. Second down and 5 inside the Bucs 40-yard line. Whoa. Mills in motion. Pegram out of the backfield. Tomczak took too long. Gets it away and finds a receiver at the 30-yard line. Andre Hastings made the catch. As Brad Culpepper was putting his arms around Tomczak, he couldn't drag him down.
And Brad Culpepper, who led the Buccaneers last year with 4 sacks. How frustrating is this for a defensive lineman? You get your hands on the quarterback's feet, and you just have to sort of twist them around, and it still gets it off for a nice gain.
Hastings caught it and tumbled down to the 28-yard line. 11-yard gain, first and 10 Steelers, as they look to tie or go ahead on this drive. Pegram on the delay. Lynch brings him down at the 25.
Really gotten good play out of both strong safeties tonight. We've seen Barney Bussey make some plays, and now John Lynch coming up and doing a little striking. And Eric Pegram has made an impression so far. That's big numbers, 6 yards per carry.
Ball right on the Buccaneers' 25-yard line. 2nd down and 7. Hastings wide to the left. Mills to the right. Bottom of your screen. And whistles as Tomczak was thinking about running. I think he's relieved that the whistle blew. And they'll do it all over again, I believe.
Before the ball was snapped, ball start. Number 84, 5 yards. It's still 2nd down.
That's reserve tight end Walter Rasby, second-year man from Wake Forest, on the penalty.
And Bill Cowher, what a job he's done with the Pittsburgh Steelers. 3 years, 2 divisional titles. Last year, the Steelers were 5-3 at the midway point and ran off 7 straight wins. The only thing that killed that streak was the loss to San Diego in a meaningless game at the end of the season in San Diego. Of course, San Diego came back and beat them in a much more meaningful game a couple of weeks later.
2nd down and 12 after the penalty. Pegram stutter stepping, tries to get around the pursuit, but cannot do it. Getting there first was Derek Brooks, the rookie out of Florida State.
He really has to be the man for the Buccaneers. There's no one else that is going to play that position. Talking with the coaching staff before the game, they just let it be known that they have to get play out of 2 guys on this defense for them to be successful this year. That being Derek Brooks and Warren Sapp. Those guys have to make the plays. He knows their rookies are going to make mistakes, but they have to play.
Brings up a 3rd and 12, and the Buccaneer defense knows that Tomczak's going to gun. Out of the shotgun. Pressure forces him out. Tomczak doesn't like to run, but he'll do it. And out of bounds, close to the 1st down. Stretching that ball forward. I think he's inches short. Lonnie Martz on the pursuit.
You're talking about a guy that gets the most out of his ability. Mike Tomczak, 29 and 20 as a starter in his career, was an undrafted free agent, and even Lonnie Martz had a little trouble trying to track him down this time. He's not that fast, doesn't have that strong of an arm, but he does the most that he can, and certainly had some big wins for the Steelers last year.
Well, you used the preseason to work on things, and Biasucci is 0 for 2 tonight on field goals, so they're going to try to give him some work. The Steelers are on 4th and 1.
Then they're going to work on Biasucci if he doesn't make this.
This one will be, Chris, pass mark right, a 36-yard attempt. Not too good of a snap, and it'll be no good, but you don't blame that on Biasucci. Bad snap, and the placement never got there in time. Now he's got to be concerned in more ways than one about his field goal unit. Buckley and the defense celebrate. The 3-point lead is still up on the board with 5:55 left in the 3rd quarter.
Hey! Hey! Huge sale at your local Southern Ford dealer. The model year-end clearance sale. Making room for 96s with great deals on 95s. Like $2,000 cash back or 5.9 financing on Ford Taurus. America's best-selling car. Or lease a Contour for only $199 a month. Hey! Gotta go!
Heard about the sale at your local Southern Ford dealer?
Hey!
You will.
No, I sent 3. 1, 2, 3. I got them right here. Oh, the hutch has a 3-way hinge. Okay, now your fingers are pointing out, you're wiggling them? Are your palms up? Just flap and lock, flap and lock. You know, not your thumbs.
In the everyday world, you often have to explain yourself to others.
Are you flapping?
Now look at page 2.
With the world-class network from GTE,
I like that.
you simply show them.
What if we switch the pages?
Change the way you work. Change the way you live. It's amazing what you can do with the world-class network from GTE.
The heat is on! The heat is on now at your local Mercury dealer during the Mercury Clearance Countdown. With hot deals on some of the year's best cars, like the hot new Mercury Mystique. A Car and Driver 10 Best starting at just $15,850. That's over $1,500 less than Altima and Accord. Plus, Mystique has features you can't get on the competition and a hot lease rate. So come in now while the deals are hot during the Mercury Clearance Countdown at your local Mercury dealer.
The heat is
Well, the Buccaneers have that 3-point lead. the defense, well, they did their job. They held the Steelers to a field goal opportunity, but Cowher's field goal unit has not been impressive tonight.
No, and the temperature is rising. You can tell by the way he's chewing the gum. As that becomes more rapid, then field goal kickers tend to have more headaches on the sideline.
Gary Anderson, a fan favorite, is now in Philly, and guess who the Steelers host in the last preseason game? You got it. The Eagles on national TV next Thursday. Well, the Buccaneers take over, and for Tampa Bay, dude, that's
you know who it was?
Armstrong.
I.J. Armstrong.
I did double take, Chris.
That was the one that they promised him. They told him they would allow him to run the football one time in his career, and that was it. And I would say, by the looks of that, there won't be a second.
But look at the movement. When he saw the hole was plugged up, he broke it to the outside.
Nah, he about broke his backbone on his offensive lineman. Ian Beckles is hoping that's his last rush as well.
They gave him a gain of 1. How charitable. Dilfer on 2nd and 9. Has an open receiver and has his man, and that is Courtney Hawkins. Hawkins into Pittsburgh territory. Second big catch of the night. Maybe that make that the third for Hawkins. Alboyd Mays on the tackle.
And you can just see the confidence growing now in Trent Dilfer. The first week looked very uncomfortable in the pocket. Here he's reading defenses, making confident throws, and you just have to feel that that one long pass sort of took the monkey off his back and was so important for his confidence.
And the sideline route, the out routes, the hardest to throw, he's throwing them with a lot of confidence.
And taking control of the offense, that's the thing you have to do under Sam Wyche's system.
1st and 10 from the Pittsburgh 42 after a 31-yard gain. And the give is to Jerry Ellison. Jerry Ellison, first action since the second quarter. Myron Bell made the tackle.
And the nice thing about the way the Buccaneers have played tonight is they have gotten their personnel in the game. This isn't one of those games in which they wanted to win at all costs and left the starters in against the other team's second team. They've been substituting frequently, got the first team defense out early. The only guy still in the game, probably some of the offensive linemen and Trent Dilfer.
Clock rolling, 4 minutes and 10 seconds left in the third quarter. Dilfer rolling right after the play fake. Got room to run, throws instead, and the ball is batted away. And Johnny on the spot was Lance Brown to make sure it wasn't complete.
But that's a throw that I like out of Trent Dilfer. We talked about it earlier, that if you're going to miss in this league, you need to miss low and away. That time there was good coverage. Dilfer said, all right, I'm going to take my shot. If he can make a great catch, go ahead. But for Trent Dilfer, a guy with just 2 career NFL starts, that shows a little poise on his part.
And the temptation also there was for him to run, but you don't want to take a chance with your franchise quarterback in a preseason game running on that play.
Especially with Casey Weldon still banged up as your backup.
That's right. Phil Cox may get some playing time in the fourth quarter, we understand, tonight. Dilfer has an open receiver, and it is number 89, Tyree Davis. Tyree Davis inside the 10-yard line to the 9. Lance Brown saved a touchdown. Second big catch for number 89 Davis tonight.
And the crowd is on their feet. Watch him step up in the pocket, find the receiver, and then the touch. That's what you like to see when you're running across the field, a difficult catch.
And here's what they like to see, a touchdown, Lamar Thomas. And Dilfer finds him in the end zone, 8 yards, just like that, 16-7.
And Trent Dilfer is beginning to make some friends in Tampa.
Well, they went with the no huddle that time. A quick call, Chris, and Lamar Thomas, I guess, caught the Pittsburgh secondary by surprise. Michael Houston lines up the extra point. Flags on the extra point. I think the Steelers are offside. The kick is good. They'll probably penalize on the kickoff and do all that stuff they do after a flag. Look at Thompson. Now, last week, see, he's maturing.
Yeah, that's the one thing. And
oh, it's against the Bucs. They're going to have to redo it. Remember last week in Cincinnati?
Oh, yeah, right. It's mugging right into the camera. But that's the one thing about this hurry-up offense. Both the defense and the television people have to be prepared at all times.
He's styling, though. He's got that do-rag on, perfectly placed.
Look at that. You know, and the most impressive thing now for him, the most important thing, is the fact that those offensive linemen, his wide receivers, his coach, his girlfriend, the fans are all starting to gain a little confidence in the new man here in Tampa Bay.
6 plays, 74 yards. The key, an 8-yard touchdown pass to Dilfer, following a big one to Tyree Davis. And Dilfer just picking apart, let's be fair, not the starting secondary in all cases for Pittsburgh, but still not a bad unit. With 3:31 left to go, and another flag. And that kick was good, too. This is really ridiculous.
They may have to punt this extra point.
I know you have to dot the I's and cross the T's.
Illegal formation. Number 67 was not up on the line of scrimmage. 5 yards. We're still doing the try.
Yeah, we're going to try. Mike Sullivan, the guilty party.
And Tom, one thing that the officials like to do is establish all those little nitpicking things like linemen on the line of scrimmage, the wide receivers off the ball, because you generally don't get those calls during the regular season.
Yeah, now's the time to do it. I know I get upset and I get impatient, but if you're going to do it, now's the time. And he hooks this one in. It's a pretty fair-sized extra point. That's 30 yards or so for Houston. It's good with 3:31 to go in the third quarter. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers up by 10, 17-7. Pittsburgh Steelers got to get some offense going when we come back.
There's only one category where Chevy Camaro does not exceed other sports car standards. Introducing the 1995 Camaro from Chevrolet. With horsepower the Mustang only dreams about, and an integrated rear spoiler, you'll never forget it's a sports car. Plus, just for safety's sake, Camaro comes with dual airbags and anti-lock brakes, standard. Get into a real American sports machine for under 15 grand. The Chevy Camaro. What are you waiting for? See it now at your local Chevy dealer.
What'd you get?
Western Whopper.
Looks good.
Yeah, it's got bacon and cheddar and a tangy barbecue sauce.
How tangy is it? Is it really tangy?
Not super tangy. It's good.
And tangy?
Not too tangy.
No.
The flame-broiled Whopper, now with cheddar cheese, hickory smoked bacon, and barbecue sauce. The Western Whopper, for a limited time at Burger King.
On a scale of 1 to 10.
Yeah?
How tangy? What'd they say?
This summer's hottest event just got hotter. Mitsubishi's Summer of Thunder heats up with an electrifying offer on an Eclipse GS. Lease for just $249 a month for 48 months with $1,000 down. But hurry in, because this offer ends soon. And so does the Summer of Thunder from Mitsubishi, the new thinking in automobiles.
Well, you know, it's kickoff reception time. Chris Buckley out there doing his dance. And everybody's in a good mood. Kenneth Gant on the kickoff team. Look at Buckley. He's got to be offside one of these kickoffs. He's so animated.
He's got Gant on one side, Buckley on the other, and the crowd loving every moment of it.
Mills is back, as he has been a few times tonight for the Steelers. And Houston, another pretty fair kickoff. Mills takes it on the run, loses possession. It's loose at the 5. Finally, Pittsburgh picks it up in the person of Mills, and he is buried at the 11-yard line. And guess who got him? Curtis Buckley, and he's talking about it.
You know, as a special teams guy, you sort of sit over there on the bench, and you just can't wait to get in the game, and then you get in, and then you got to run through one guy, and he'll hold you a little bit, and then you run around, and you just want to put your helmet somewhere. And then the obligatory conversation that always seems to follow.
Hello, how did you like that? My name is Curtis Buckley.
And I'll be back.
Scoring drive, 6 plays, 74 yards. Mike Tomczak and the Steelers up against it now. The Buccaneer defense got to be aroused. His crowd is aroused. Tomczak, first down throwing. Up the sideline. Mills, did he keep the feet in? They say he did, and he's out of bounds on a great catch over the 30-yard line.
Well, that's part of the reason that Ernie Mills took over the starting job for the final 6 games of last year. They've shown the replay here in the stadium. I don't think they agree.
That's great play.
That's pretty close.
Fifth-year man out of Florida, Mills, a 20-yard reception.
Of course, any Florida Gator, you just give them the benefit of the doubt.
Absolutely. You don't even debate it. Oh, it can get kind of deep up here at times. Pegram. Eric Pegram over the 35 to 36-yard line. Actually, Mills learned that move from you.
Yes.
With Twinkle Toes Collinsworth.
Yes. Athletically very similar. Pegram again. You know, this is going to be an interesting combination now for the Pittsburgh Steelers. You just have to like the way that they're able to go inside and outside, and athletically they have the offensive lineman to run that sweep, but never really had the back. Now they have the back to go along.
2nd and 5. Tomczak, the thinking pass. He's 3 out of 3 so far tonight. But he'll give it to Pegram. Trying to skirt the outside and is over the first down marker out at the 42-yard line before Mike Magruder ends that. Actually closer to the 43-yard line.
John Lynch got a little taste of what those big blocking offensive linemen are all about for the Steelers. Todd Kalis out in front of Pegram. Oh, my goodness.
Pegram sent to the bench. Literally. Under 2 minutes to play here in the third quarter. Buccaneers very sound defensively tonight and spectacular at times offensively, leading by 10. Quick one, Tomczak behind the intended receiver. That was Walter Rasby. John Lynch on the coverage.
And that time the Tampa Bay Buccaneers coming with the blitz. I believe that was Demetrius DeBose shooting through there, and apparently Rusty Tillman feeling that Mike Tomczak just a little too comfortable in the pocket. The pressure worked.
Brings up a 2nd down and 10, and the crowd now getting into it. You know they're really losing their heads now. The wave has appeared here at Tampa Stadium.
I say they have the right. They've waited long enough.
That's for sure. Tomczak steps up, and a man was covered, Andre Hastings, so Tomczak just threw that away.
Tony Stargell right there. And for Tony Stargell and Mike Magruder, the nickel and dime backs tonight, really solid coverage. We've seen it all the way across the board.
Penalty flag.
2nd down.
Well, against the Steelers, did not get the call. The referee's mic is cutting in and out tonight, and the reason for that, all the rain we had the afternoon before this game, the field drained well, but our cables along the side, and the water comes down off the crown. What I'm trying to say is there's water in the cables, and that balances up everything.
I've got it. Well, this is sort of fun to be here tonight. I think that a lot of these fans bought tickets tonight wanting to see if it was for real or not. You know, they sort of, well, it was the Bengals last week, and we're not really too sure. And now 17-7 on the Steelers, and they're doing this.
Yeah, let's go back to the field. Whatever that is. 2nd down and 20. Never been a big Wave fan. Tomczak over the middle, finds his man, but well short of the first down. That's Steve Avery, fullback. Darnell Stevens on the tackle.
You know, a lot of people count the Wave as their cardiovascular activity for the day, so don't deny them that.
I'll tell you, you're right, though. These fans in Tampa have waited so long. I mean, a dozen years of 10 or more losses. I wouldn't wish that on my worst enemy. And they're looking good now. And they got the Dolphins next week, and it's like spring training in baseball. Optimism everywhere.
3rd down, the most important down in the National Football League, and the Bucs have been true to that test.
3rd and a bunch, 15. Rolling right is Tomczak. A little bit of holding going on back there. He completes it to the 50. No, they ruled it incomplete. It was going to be short anyway. Thigpen thought he had it, but it's a moot point. The Steelers are going to have to punt.
Anytime the quarterback rolls right, So does the defense, and if you take too long, you end up having to try and throw into about 6 defensive backs. And that's what Tomczak faced that time.
Clarence Verdun back for the punt from Ron Stark. The one-time decathlete Stark. Up, make that Edmonds. Bobby Joe Edmonds. Verdun is done for the night. Edmonds at the 15. Bobby Joe Edmonds, maybe special teams, one way he can make this football team. And the obligatory flag on the punt return.
You see why Bobby Joe Edmonds, though, was a Pro Bowler with Seattle.
Goes against the Steelers.
Another ineligible man downfield too quickly.
I would think the Bucs would make him kick it over again and give Edmonds another shot. They're pointing that way.
Ineligible downfield. Number 56 of the kicking team. 5 yards. Repeat, 4th down.
Edmonds going to get another shot here.
This is sort of like a Duke basketball game. They have the designated cheers. They had the wave, now they had the Let's Go Bucs, and they've got the Tampa and the Bay, and all sorts of things going here tonight.
This team ever turns it around, and they're looking real good right now. And it's all preliminary.
It'd be a little like the response to the Cleveland Indians in Cleveland.